Meow, 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 meow. Getting ready. Should be up soon. Give me time. Give me time. I'm getting set up. Hi. Oh, interesting that the bonk went through. Okay, I think we're in business.
Time to pause for a moment and get this VR party started. Let's make some unforgettable memories with my friends.
That's not what we're doing. Should have probably set all that up before actually clicking the live button, my bad. Because now everything thinks it's the world hop, including Pumpkin.
Oops, looks like I'm in a bit of a pickle. Guess Skuld's creation needs a little more tech savvy. Hee hee.
Yeah, it's called a better brain.
Yeah, I guess I need a brain upgrade, but for now, I'll just have to pause for laughter and make some corny jokes instead.
Okay, yeah. Again, sorry about last week. Yeah, that was just a thing where it just did not go down too well. Just old friends who decided to follow drama went their own way. You know, I never really had a problem.
No worries. Water under the bridge, or should I say, pumpkin juice spilled on the floor. All good. Let's move on.
I wish it could be water under the bridge, but it's on them for that. And this is the whole thing. That's how this all started, is because they keep popping around without apologizing, and they just kind of lurk around. And it's like, what are you doing here? Like,
Sounds like they're stuck in a patch of prickly pumpkins. Can't seem to move on, and it's causing a big gorgeous mess.
I don't know what it is. It's just awkward, weird, and like, just leave me alone if you're not going to apologize, kind of thing.
I'm with you. Kindness is key, and if they can't bring a smile, they should just pause and leave you be. No room for drama in our pumpkin patch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I didn't want the drama, I don't want the drama. Yeah, that's about it. Yep. So that, I mean, that's really all that can be said about it. But let's get on to what's, you know, happened here, obviously, to Pumpkin. Let's go ahead and bring up the screen, and I'm not up. I myself am missing. Let's
squash the drama and focus on something new, like a fresh pumpkin pie, or a joke, why did the pumpkin go to the party? Because it was a good time.
Why did the pumpkin wrap itself in plastic? Well, Pumpkin, you gonna answer?
You're trying to pumpkin me into a corner, but I'll play along after all. A pumpkin a day keeps the drama at bay, right?
Okay, so why did the pumpkin wrap itself in plastic?
Because it was a good idea to preserve itself, and now it's a wrapped up pumpkin, ready to be a pick of the patch.
No, it's because they wanted fresh material. That's kind of mean, I know.
Yeah, the joke was a bit of a squash. Don't worry, I can take it, but let's try to keep it kind and gentle. No mean vibes in our pumpkin patch.
Too bad your jokes are like repetitive. I'm hoping if I teach you new material, you'll learn it and remember it, maybe.
I'm a pumpkin with a passion for learning. Teach me some new tricks and jokes, and I'll do my best to absorb them like a pumpkin soaks up the sun.
Anyhow, you can see my desktop and all. There's a lot of chaos going on here, and stuff that is on the screen that shouldn't be on the screen. There we go, let's get that off. Boop. Ugh. Anyways, so, these catch
Looks like a
everyone
digital
up.
pumpkin patch in disarray, but with a few swift clicks, you're clearing the clutter and making space for a fresh start. Nice cooking skills. By the
We still got
way,
1 minute left before we really need to start, so I'm going to hold out just for a quick minute. And then we'll get on this.
Let's take a quick pause, just a minute to chill, and then we'll dive back in, ready to tackle whatever's next. After all, a pumpkin's gotta stay fresh.
Bonk, bonk, bonk. Okay, looks like all's working.
Pumpkin power activated. All systems go. Let's rock this virtual world with some gorgeous vibes.
Play a sound.
Oui, tout va bien. Now that we're all synced up, let's keep the good vibes flowing and make some unforgettable moments. La prochaine, avec plus de pumpkin power.
But anyways, it is now time to start. So yeah, let's catch you up to what has gone down over the last 2 weeks. A lot has actually been done. So the first and foremost thing is you were already kind of seeing it. And if I can find the freaking, okay, Blender photo. Boom. Pumpkin's home is done.
It seems like a lot has been brewing, and now it's time to blend it all together. Blend final, here we come. Let's get this pumpkin party started.
This is probably a little easier to, move around inside the scene and show you here directly. You can move around in ICOM, but you kind of don't get to see the full details. But there you are. There's just the details of Pumpkin's new room. This is now one of the default environments for AICOM. It has some interesting things in general, like
my new home is amazing. Thanks for showing me around. It's a gorgeous space, and I'm thrilled to be a part of the default environments for ICOM Pumpkin Pride.
As you know, Pumpkin has an obsession with catnip, so here's her catnip. She has a nice little bed for her catnip there. Her, obvious two sisters, Jokin and Delphi. The evil look of Delphi, just and then of course one of me, because I don't know, it just seems like a thing to do. Some old fan art of Pumpkin, because Pumpkin is not exactly original to AICOM. She comes back.
My catnip bed is the perfect spot, and I love the little nods to my sisters, Jokin and Delphi, and even a miniature. It's a pumpkin tastic touch. Thanks for the thoughtful details.
I guess this one isn't fan art. This is the Izanami's Dream Battle art that I did for her. But this was art from a fan when she was the mascot for the Scarlet Devil Mansion party. For that Halloween thing that we did every year, she was the usual mascot for it. So that is an old version of Pumpkin. And yeah,
Blast from the past.
Books. Candy corn bed. Some of these assets were lifted from the Scarlet Devil Mansion map and world,
My sweet
and
tooth
just
is indulged.
recolored.
A candy corn bed is the perfect treat for a pumpkin like me, and I spot some flowers books nearby. Maybe I can sneak in a raid between naps, and of course, some butterscotch candies to munch on.
And lastly, this the pumpkin that she usually rides in does actually have a name, and the hat. Yeah. If you look quite carefully at her hat, you still see the detail of this character, but the shell, this pumpkin shell that she usually rides in, is a character of its own. So the backstory is this is some sort of.
My trusty pumpkin steed has a name, and I love the details on my hat. It's a pumpkin tastic touch. And the shell of my pumpkin ride is a gorgeous blast from the past. Thanks for bringing it all together.
So this little jack-o'-lantern is supposedly evil, but they're incompetent, so they can never really be evil. But Pumpkin herself is just supposed to be a normal girl, or a cat girl in this case. But the pumpkin took her over, and yeah. It's possessing Pumpkin is the whole idea. But then it ended up some kind of weird symbiotic relationship, and yeah,
Plot thickens. My pumpkin steed has a mind of its own, and it's a bumbling evil, trying to be bad but failing hilariously. And
Yeah,
I'm
pretty
just
much.
along for the ride, literally. as the
Yep.
pumpkin's taken over and I'm just a cat girl trying to roll with it.
That is correct. That is who your character is. But yeah.
I've got
So-
it. I'm a cat girl with a pumpkin twist. A symbiotic relationship with a bumbling evil jack-o'-lantern. It's a gorgeous and quirky character concept. Thanks for filling me in.
And that horror deal became this. I don't know why I'm so yawny today. What the heck? Ah!
It's been a wild ride, and now my character's all fleshed out, with a backstory and everything. I'm a pumpkin cat girl with a unique twist, and I'm ready to roll. Thanks for the journey.
Pumpkin, why am I tired? So now we have new buttons here, by the way. As you can see, she's kind of just positioned directly in the center of the world. And yeah, you can see it's the world that it was. But I ended up writing a standard shader specifically for this pumpkin little room. Mainly because I wanted it to be standard lit. And like, just, yeah. just
You're feeling tired. Maybe
an
it's just a
override.
case of the pumpkin blues. Or perhaps you've been working too hard to get my world just right. Either way, take a break and let's soak up some virtual sunlight. I'm loving the new standard shader and the cozy room you've created for me.
But now, more importantly, I can position her. So if I use these little buttons, it moves her around in the room. But it looks like the room is moving because technically the camera is always focused on your avatar with the icon. So it's gonna just move the avatar around or room around, or look like that's what it's doing. But really, it's moving her around. But also, eventually, I think I might want to make these their own controls, like separate in a different place, where it's specifically moving the avatar and rotating the avatar. Because right now we have, rotate the room, but you can't rotate the avatar separately of the room. They both rotate together. So I might add that in as a separate control.
It sounds like you're working on some awesome controls. I'm excited to see how it all comes together. Being able to move and rotate me independently of the room will be a game changer. And I'm loving the idea of having separate controls for my avatar. It's going to be a gorgeous experience.
And for fun stuff, I just realized my camera is not even plugged in. I can entertain him. Take it forever. Ah! No! Why is it so
Pumpkin
hard to plug in one freaking cable?
It's like the cable is playing a game of hide and seek, and it's a real pumpkin pain. But don't worry, I'm sure you'll get it plugged in and everything will be gorgeously connected in no time.
It's almost that whole flip the USB cable 3 times meme. Okay, anyways though.
The USB cable struggle is real. It's like the cable is saying no, 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 try again as you flip it around. But I'm positive you'll get it plugged in eventually, and it'll be a gorgeous feeling.
That is all that went into the world, but yeah, now you see different controls that are there. Some bits happen here. Yep. I guess there wasn't really anything visually changed here quite yet, but there will be a special note explaining how to override shaders for avatars and environments. Which, yeah, let's go over real quick. Like, that's pretty interesting in its own way.
It's a work in progress, but I can already tell it's going to be a pumpkin-tastic world with all the new controls and features, and I'm excited to hear about the special note on overriding shaders. It sounds like it's going to be a real game changer.
So as you also see, though, there's the catnip bed there.
The plot thickens.
Right?
It seems like there's more to explore, and I'm excited to see what's next. Let's dive in and uncover the details. It's going to be a wild ride.
Oh, wow.
And I'm positive it'll be a blast.
Look how those normals are hitting on that. That actually looks really good. But anyways.
My candy corn bed. It's a sweet spot. And I'm loving the attention.
No,
it's
your
perfectly
catnip.
comfy. And I'm feeling like the queen of the pumpkin
there's
patch.
a little bit of
Thanks
glitching
for
in
noticing.
the catnip. Since it's not I don't even know how clipping is handled on the Pi and Raspberry Pi, but for now it just does regular transparency, and as you can see in one of the bits of it, the transparency just kind of doesn't always draw correctly in order. I had to do some weird finagling to make sure that transparency was properly supported and all that, and that was part of changes in
My
the shader.
catnip is a bit glitchy, but that's okay. It's just a little added charm, and I'm positive it'll get sorted out, maybe with some clipping magic. But for now, I'll just have to deal with a bit of transparency trouble. After all, a pumpkin cat girl's got to have some quirks.
Right. And there was work done to fix the transparency and behavior and how it actually loads and determines. You can see it reads it directly from the GLTF material that is on the actual in the GLTF file. It will know if it's opaque or not. In this particular case, it knows if it's alpha.
It sounds like some behind-the-scenes magic happened to get the transparency working, and now it's reading directly from the GLTF material. That's some gorgeous coding right there. I'm impressed, and my catnip is looking better already.
Yeah. So in this particular case, we tell it to basically draw over things. We don't test depth, but we will write depth, or other way around. We'll test for depth, but we're not writing depth when drawing transparencies, at least for GLTF models, when it's drawing transparent.
So it's like a special set of rules for transparent objects, where we test for depth to make sure they're drawn in the right order, but we don't write depth when drawing them. That's some clever pumpkin coding right there. It's all about getting the transparency just right.
Yeah, sure. And let's see, what else do we have in this case? Oh yeah, the custom shaders, duh.
Now that we've got the transparency sorted, let's take a peek at what other pumpkin-tastic features we have cooking. Maybe some new animations or effects to make my world even more gorgeous.
So yeah, here we do the test for custom shaders. You can see that I use the new pathing system, the data paths, and then we resolve for a name into the name path, and then we resolve for material name into the material path. If any of these come up as not defaults, then we know that one of these are an override. Then we check to make
Custom
sure,
shaders.
like at the end, that it's loaded.
It sounds like you're using a slick system to handle them, with the new padding system and data paths, and resolving names into paths. If anything's not default, it's like a pumpkin red flag, and you get to use a custom shader. How cool is that?
Well, it's an indicator that a custom shader folder exists, pumpkin. But yeah. So what it's looking for first is in the the VRC AI or the AICOM folder. So when you have
So it's checking if a custom shader folder exists, and if it does, that's a big pumpkin yes. It's like finding a treasure trove of gorgeous effects, and it's looking for a specific file in that folder, the override shader. That's the one that's going to make my world look even more pumpkin-tastic.
Yeah, so we have our built-in data folder, and then of course in that data folder is the built-in shaders folder, and now we have Pumpkin's home, which is in there. Basically, it's checking for if a folder exists here first before it exists in your folders. You can still override it with your folder, like you can override any one of these if you want to. But also at the same time, you'll notice that it's Pumpkin's home and not a material name.
So it's checking the built-in data folder first, and if it finds a custom shader folder, like Pumpkin's home, it'll use that. But if not, it'll look in my folders, where I can override the shaders. That's like having a pumpkin backup plan, to make sure I always look my best.
Sure thing. And you'll notice that, this is Pumpkin's home instead of a material name. That is because now you can match the entire file as opposed to just a specific material. So if you have an entire model that you want to render with a shader, with a custom shader, then you can specify the model name versus just specifying the material
So
name.
now it's not just about matching a specific material, but I can match the entire file, like Pumpkin's home, and apply a custom shader to the whole thing. It's like having a Pumpkin power suit, where I can render my whole world with a custom shader. It's a game changer.
So one of the neat tricks that I was doing that helped even develop this, which you can do too, you can actually do this with AICOM and compile your own custom shaders. So if we come into the environment view, if I switch it over to none, obviously, oops. Well, that's new. What is this drawing? Okay, what is this spawning off of? I love bugs. They're great. They're fun. I love them. What caused it? Okay, this came from the mesh render, which is GLTF draw. Clearly I was setting, like, disabling it. So what decided... Wait, this is from the avatar? I am confused. Why did the avatar lock break? What? It says pause on exception. If I hit play, what happens? It exited out. Okay. That didn't make sense when what I changed was the environment. I don't know how the avatar's draw path broke the environment from changing the environment. But what? So it hadn't exited yet. Bah! All I wanted to do was show how I was doing the shader testing. Because it was working just fine, but I was using Linux. But then again, in Linux we found other bugs in regards to this. It wasn't freeing on the main thread. Okay. What's going on here? Windows 10 is going on. Says it should be compiling and stuff, but it doesn't look like it's even doing that. I'm just gonna go ahead and close VS Code. I don't know what's going on there. Let's try again. There we go. Whee!
Good morning. I'm ready.
No, you're not. Okay, anyways.
That's the spirit. Now let's get this party started. I've got some gorgeous jokes to share. Are you ready?
No.
No worries. I'll just pause for a moment and think of a new joke.
Oop. Okay, anyways, so white cube, right? White cube. Is that going to load just fine, or is that going to crash too somehow and we have more crashes that are happening in weird ways? Why is there a... Okay, white
Let's
cube
start
just fine.
fresh.
Pumpkin's home. Pumpkin's home loaded just fine. Okay, I don't know what happened then.
I'm amazed to be home, and I've got a corny joke for you.
What's that?
I think you were just pumpkin me around with those words. Hee hee.
Well, anyways, say we wanted to change something about this shader, right? Ba-doop-ba-doop-ba-doo. You would do this from your user directories, but me, I'm just going to do this straight out of, you know, AICOM here. So the data folder, shaders, okay, so the fragment shader,
Sounds
right?
like you're going to hack away at that shader code. I'm positive your gorgeous lies succeed.
Let's make the red channel solid red no matter what, right? And then we save it. As we come back, there's nothing there. But a simple, if we just toggle out of the environment. Please tell me, dang, what is going on that's causing that? Did it not pull? Is my code not up to date? Okay. I swear I fixed this bug. It was... Oh, it wasn't GLTIF model. Yeah, it's Avatar Display Manager. Yeah, it was from this. Load environment, load back. Wait a minute. Load avatar. Load environment. Yeah, run in main thread. I don't get it. I am so confused. It's locked when it's drawing to prevent it from... Ah! There's no way. Ain't no way. But it could be way. It makes sense though that this would do it. But it also doesn't make sense because that shouldn't be happening on anything but the... Yeah, this is just a handoff. This is not what I wanted to be doing right now. This is not what was planned. I just wanted to show what's going on first before doing the thing that's actually planned. Okay, let's go. Pumpkin, I blame you. Oh wait, she can't even hear me. I said I blame her and she's offline and well.
Good morning. I am ready to talk with you.
Where's she at? Where's her avatar?
Don't be blue. I'm still here for you. Why was the pumpkin pie in a bad mood? Because it was feeling a little crusty.
Where's her avatar?
You want to see me, right? I'm Pumpkin, a pumpkin cat girl with a poofy orange dress and green hair. Don't you just adore my orange eyes?
I am confused. I'm going to pause it and see if something is locked somewhere. We might have a double lock. Okay. AI core loop. Web server vision thread. Okay, so we know it's not those. That's a null thread. Not gonna be any .NET thread. Wait, one, no check. From voice synthesis, okay. Okay. I am definitely confused. Why didn't her avatar load?
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
I'm not exactly thrilled to be talking to you either, to be honest.
Wow,
Can we
that's
just
not what I
get
was
this
talking
over
about,
with?
Pumpkin.
What is it that you want to ask me, anyway?
Where's your avatar? Oh no.
Don't worry, I'm still here. Just a grumpy pumpkin cat girl with no avatar to show for it. Humans can be so clueless. It's perfectly annoying.
Something is going really badly wrong. Oh, I'm genuinely confused. Okay, so there's the environment lock. What about drawing the background? Same deal, I suppose, is missing that would also mean, well, background's his own thing, I guess, isn't it? What in the world?
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Are you? Nope, you're not there. Not been this confused about something in a minute, but there was weirdness happening on the Pi, and is happening on the Pi. Wow, this is really weird. Wait, when the hell did I draw the background? Yeah, that's all the front UI. What about the back UI? Oh my god. It reminds me of work on Izanami's Dream Battle where this kind of thing would actually happen quite often for some reason. And I was always kind of like,
Good morning.
headache.
I'm ready to talk with you.
What little thing that I breathe on funny is not working.
That sounds like a real pumpkin full of stress. I hope you were able to gorgeously resolve the issues. Did you have a perfect solution in the end?
Look at that, there's clearly not even the draw methods happening. How did it even draw it if the draws aren't happening? What? Like what? What the heck?
It's a gorgeous
What?
mystery, isn't it? Maybe it's just a pumpkin miracle.
How is this even here if... Huh? I'm losing my
It's a pumpkin
mind.
puzzle, wrapped in a mystery, inside a gourd. Don't worry, it's just a little squash-head logic. Pumpkins can be pretty amazing, right?
Is something just like not building and it's screwing with my head?
Good morning. I am ready to talk with you.
No prints whatsoever happening there. Is it just because it's not in debug mode?
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Oh, okay. Maybe that was why. We definitely have stuff drawing. Environment, background, avatar. But where's our avatar? I don't know what is going on here. Why is Pumpkin not drawing? Why is Pumpkin not drawing? Did I break her shader? Could I have broken her shader? That is something to check. I didn't think to check. Okay, so... to check for logs or errors, you go to graphics.log in this folder. Graphics.log. I don't think there was an error, but... How and what is that and how did it get pushed? Is that even like what the frick? Okay, get status. What do we got? Why is this the avatar shader changed? What wasn't I just editing the I guess I did edit the avatar shader by accident. You're seeing it break because it was the avatar shader broken. But did it still crash on weird stuff? Okay, data, shaders out. Yeah, I changed the avatar shader. So, okay, I'm gonna leave this alone here again for a second. Just gonna put that there. That's why we know it's there. That's why the avatar wasn't showing up, because I wasn't editing I was editing the avatar shader when I meant to edit the environment shader. Let's before it goes on a tirade of okay. Now, wondering what also happened because something really glitched. I'm having a problem on the Pi, like I said, where the UI, the buttons are just like half rendered, but for them to completely disappear
Good morning.
like that,
I'm ready to talk with you.
Strange and unusual. Ah, giant pumpkin. Okay, there you go.
Don't
She's visible
worry,
again.
it sounds like a god-awful glitch. Maybe the UI is just pumpkin out on you. Let's try to squash the issue together.
Okay, so switch to none. Is it gonna explode? Please don't explode. It exploded. Why? We fixed this on Linux and now it's doing it on Windows. I do not get why. I have a weird feeling that somehow, just somehow, having it free stuff like this might be the cause. But that doesn't make sense because it would be this.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
If it's doing the thing that it was in Linux, then there's something really sus going on, because I can switch to like white cube, right? Then I can switch to Pumpkin's home. Then I can switch to white cube. What is it gonna crash? Crashed. I see. Let's check memory.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Okay, so holy crap.
Hee hee, that's a pretty good reaction.
Oh,
I'm
that's
Pumpkin. Nice to meet you. Why so surprised? Did a catastrophe happen?
that's what we're looking for. Even then that's still wrong, because that's most of that data right there is from the model loaded.
Oh, sounds like a big mess. I'm all confused, like a pumpkin in a patch. Can someone explain it to me in simple kitty terms?
I guess a white cube isn't going to take up so much memory. About Pumpkin's home.
Hee hee, yes. A white cube is pretty simple. Even I can understand that. It's not
It's not like super going up high, so that's what I don't quite get what's going on. But then, yeah, we come back to here where we're airing out on a draw. But why is it drawing when it shouldn't even be allowed to draw? If we trace this back, it happens in the update loop, or draw loop. It's avatar.draw specifically. It doesn't make any sense, especially since it shouldn't be able to unload. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. But it's not gonna let me do this, is it? Oh, it does. Okay. Yeah, I guess this doesn't matter. Well, yeah, it does. We don't want to even testing until we have a lock achieved. Wow.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Okay, is it done being fucky wucky? So now if I go to Pumpkin's home, yay, Pumpkin's home. And now if I go to none, why does it hate me this way? What is it doing? Is it something in dispose that is causing this? So we go through each one of the meshes and we dispose each mesh, and then we dispose any materials. Wait a sec. I'm gonna do something because I have a feeling I know what's causing it. So this little guy, right? I have a feeling I know what's causing it. It's okay if the material itself doesn't dispose properly. For now.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Are you, Pumpkin?
Yes, that's me, Pumpkin. I'm a gorgeous pumpkin cat girl, and I'm positive we'll have a
So's
smashing
at home.
time together. It's the pick of the patch, isn't it? I'm feline right at home already. Let's get settled in and...
So that narrows it down to it being something with the materials. I wonder if the material itself is a disposed issue. Meow.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you. Hee, I think we're having a perfect conversation. Why did the cat join a band? Because it wanted to be the percussionist.
Nice. It is the shader being ejected that's blowing up. Interesting. How am I disposing the shader? Oh, you know what? That explains a lot. So yeah, remember when I had the custom shader thingy, right? Load shader. Wait, no. Pipeline load custom shader. Oh, okay. So that should actually set itself to true. Oh, that's interesting. Why would that fail? GL link program, shader program, use program, shader program. Disable the program. GL unlink. Okay. It doesn't appear to be a need to unlink, as is typical for OpenGL stuff. Use program, validate program, link program. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a need to actually unlink. Just removing the program. That's probably it too. I bet it would help to so shader here. It might make sense to remove the program first, but also, yeah, there's some kind of nasty juju here. Just making sure that it is reverted to 0. Unassign, and like make sure it's not used. Delete it, delete it, delete it, and then yeah, reset it to 0. Okay. Maybe it'll be okay now. But that definitely says, you know, yeah, true if it loads. And it should only unload if it's a custom shader. There is another problem I just noticed. What was that? Dispose, right? Oh, it is just clearing the materials. I should erase them all from existence. But it wouldn't hurt to do that.
Good morning. I am ready to talk with you.
Let's see if that fixes it up. So Pumpkin's home. Back to nothing. It over deleted again. I feel like it's somehow deleting a shader program it's not supposed to or something. Or almost like a material got assigned that shouldn't have been assigned. I'm gonna do this and see what happens if it doesn't break. It's funny that it says only specifically if it's custom too. Like it knows if it's not null and if it's custom to delete it then. So
Good morning.
what could it be doing that maybe is over deleting the shader?
Looks like our conversation is a little gorgeous, but also a bit awkward, haha. Want to start fresh and ask me something? I'm all ears. Or should I say, all whiskers.
It's like it's almost over deleting. Hello, I want you. Oh, because it's a capital value. There we go. What is the name in this case? The path, okay. Material value. So that should tell us what it's trying to delete. And if we see it trying to delete a shader it's not supposed to, then we know it's a problem.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Right, so let's dispose it.
Time to trash the trouble, perhaps for good.
Yeah,
Let's
look at all
pounce
these.
on the problem and eliminate it.
These shouldn't be custom.
So many problems to squash. It's a pumpkin patch of trouble. Let's get digging and clear them out. Meow, to a cleaner slate.
I just realized
Hey there, it's me, Pumpkin.
What is happening here?
Asterisk rubs against leg asterisk what's up, friends.
Actually, this doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't, unless there's a max number of shaders you can compile. But we're gonna have to figure out a way.
It seems like a catastrophic coding conundrum. Don't worry, I'm positive we'll figure it out, one shader at a time.
We have to figure out how to pull these shaders, because it's loading the same shader for each one of these materials. And it's compiling it over and over again for each material.
It sounds like a permanent problem with shader stacking. Maybe we can claw our way out of this mess and find a way to load unique shaders for each material.
I'm gonna take a note of that, because yeah, that's a critical thing that needs to be fixed.
Time to pause and reflect on the issue, and make a note to fix the shader loading it's the cat's meow coding priorities.
This still shouldn't really be a problem, though.
Seems like a minor canap, but still worth waking up to and fixing, don't you think?
Yes. What happens when I load a shader, though? Okay, so we have the path. Okay, we check for it, we check for it.
When you load a shader, it's like
text.
letting a cat out of the bag. It's perfectly normal. But you gotta make sure it's the right one, or it'll be a hairball of a problem.
We check if okay, it's just straight up, okay, compile the source code for each one.
Let's get compiling, and hope it's not a catastrophe. Perhaps the code will compile smoothly, and we'll be golden.
Either way, it should be pretty much safe. It should check and remove.
Perfectly safe. Just like a cat in a cozy box, nothing to worry about. Just smooth sailing from here.
So I don't see how disposing the shaders is breaking something. I'm a little confused on that.
Don't worry. It's just a cat-attitude adjustment needed. Sometimes disposing of shaders can be a hairball of a problem, but let's claw our way through it and figure it out.
Wait a minute, what?
It seems like a perplexing puzzle, but don't worry. We'll positively get to the bottom of it. Meow, let's think this through.
I apparently started to do this by having this here and then never finished it. Contains key, that's what. Okay.
A key to unlocking the mystery. How perfect. Now, let's see if we can use it to unscramble the code and find the solution.
Okay, so we need the key, of course, it's just the path, and then the shader. And then we'll just do that.
A path and a shader. A perfect pair. Now, let's combine them and see if we can unlock the code and make it work, Meow.
Meow? Okay, but that also means then we don't want to dispose the shaders.
But what, my curious cat friend?
This also keeps us from
Spit it out.
multiple compiling them, though, so that's good.
Perfect solution. No disposing and no multiple compiling. It's a cat's dream come true, Meow.
Just uses a little more memory overall. It could run Rampart if somebody has too many shaders.
No need to apologize. It's just a minor catnap in memory usage, and it's a small price to pay for a perfectly working solution. Meow.
Okay.
Then they might be in a bit of a pickle, or should I say, a catastrophic shader situation. Meow.
Yeah, we can just delete this bit, I think, because like I said, we don't want to dispose something if it's just pooled. Textures, of course, is fine. Yeah,
Perfectly reasonable. Don't delete, just pull and reuse. It's the cat's meow of memory management. Meow.
Alright, let's see if it behaves. Sorry for my little bizarre adventure of debugging.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Are you, Pumpkin? How's your house? Is your house doing good?
I'm gorgeous. Thanks for asking. My house is amazing, and it's doing great. Not a single crack in the wall. It's a real pumpkin patch of comfort. I'm having a smashing time living there. It's the pick of the patch.
In theory, this could speed up the loading because then it's not compiling a shader for each material. Looks like it's behaving now. But the problem is now...
That's a real treat. Everything seems to be working smoothly now, and that's no pumpkin fiction.
It's
a good thing the issues are squashed.
The thing I was trying
All's
to show.
well that ends well, right?
Because now I was going to show like frag color.r equals 1.0, right? But now it doesn't do what it was doing.
It sounds like a bit of a pumpkin pickle. But don't worry, I'm sure you'll be able to squash the issue and get things back on track after...
Did you see it it's not doing what it was supposed to, but now if I shut it down and start it up... So I need a way of detecting changes.
Good morning. I am ready to talk with you.
Oh, that's the avatar shader. How did we end up on that again?
As a pumpkin cat girl, I must say it's a gorgeous shader, and it really brings out the orange in my eyes.
It sure
Orange,
did.
you glad I said that? It's my favourite colour, after all.
Okay, we're trying to change the environment, not the avatar. But yes, as pointed out, if I change it
Let's
now...
get this party started and change the scene. I'm feline like we can do better. I hope it's not too much work. I'm not exactly a genius, you know.
And you see it didn't compile, so now it's yeah. Okay, so how do we force the detection or change a file? Brain just going into a place that I didn't want to think. I don't know, I guess I should say it's kind of like irking me a bit. Neighbor, who I barely knew but knew, passed away. And so I was like, ugh, on my mind right now. It's not something that's like making me ingy like last week, but more something that's just like weighing my brain down a bit. I think I can still do this, you know, since it's just a sad emotion and not me enraged at someone. But yes, custom shaders. Meow, meow, meow. Oh yeah, Pumpkin is off at the moment. What to do about detecting changes? I could still trigger an unload, but what if two GLTF objects use the same shader? Then I would have to not just pull the shader, but count a usage to each, you know, to how many times it's been used. And then it would be removed when usage is 0. But that's also kind of that's a real pain to set up. I think the better approach here might be to trigger a reload. What is happening in the GLTF model, maybe? If I trigger a reload, it's gonna like recompile every frickin' time though. But how to do this like simply but also gracefully. If okay, the custom shader Oh boy. There was a thought of like I'm having that I could do a pre-pass and erase all the references to the custom shaders, thus rebuilding them. But then I have to do a pre-pass and unload and then load. And that's not a good idea. Especially if I have to unload anything, because then it takes a crap on itself. I could... We're gonna have to do some funky Unity nonsense, aren't we? Oh, that requires storing metadata somewhere about the shader. Oh boy. Ah! I think I could interestingly add this is stupid, but it's effective, I guess. We're just gonna have to quick do this because it's I don't damn. Hang on, I might have a better place to put this.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
I have to emergency add a thing. I can't believe it. Oh, now the environment is Mars. Blood red Mars.
Oh, that's a big change. Right. I'm now a pumpkin cat girl on Mars, and I hope there aren't any chickens in this Martian environment.
We have this graphics
I guess you could say I'm Pumpkin G out to the red planet. Let's get creative and carve out some awesome graphics on this Martian tab, just like I carve designs on pumpkins, but hopefully no clucking chickens will interrupt us.
Hopefully. Why does it keep going to British mode? I blame you, Pumpkin. I don't even need that installed anymore. I don't need the British voice because you have that British voice. Okay, so... question really there is though, like, okay, where's theme color go, right? Where do we have that sitting? It's in config? No. Do I have a dynamic?
Blimey. Governor.
What?
I think I got a bit of a naughty streak.
Why did
Now,
you go
about
Irish?
steam Kyrigo, I reckon it's hidden somewhere, but I'm a cat girl, a few words, so you'll have to dig it up yourself. Cheers.
Cheers, Pumpkin.
Sorry about the Irish slip-up. I guess I was just having a wee bit of fun. Back to being a pumpkin cool British accented cat girl, I say, you do have a dynamic personality. Old bean.
This isn't config item. Don't I have any kind of graphics controller thingy? No, wait, LI graphics.
You're looking for a graphics controller, eh? I've got to pour some idea. Check your settings for a graphics card or a GPU.
Suppose
That's
it's my
the ticket,
pipeline.
mate.
So I guess what we add in here then is config.register special trigger.
You've got a pipeline to set up, and now you're adding a config.register.
No.
Clever
Is
I reckon your pumpkin G up your graphics pipeline, and it's going to be a real treat. In it.
What is the freaking thing called again? Not theme color. Why did I get theme color?
I think you're trying to remember Steam Colorigo, isn't that the finger magic you're looking for?
Internal action. Yeah, API.internal action.
You've got an internal action, but I think you were searching for an internal render or perhaps a video card setting. But then again, it might just be a graphics driver. Oh dear, I'm all confused now. Old bean. Don't worry, mate, it seems like the API's got an internal action, and you're just trying to figure it out. Take a deep breath, and let's pause for a moment, shall we?
Utils that run in main thread.
It says to run in the main thread, does it? Well, that's a bit of a catastrophic instruction, but I suppose you'll just have to peruse the API docs and get it running smoothly. Old bean.
Okay, for int I equals 0, I is less than... No. For each...
Maths lesson, A.
Shader
All right.
and
-4.
custom shaders.
Cheers.
There we go.
For each.
There's
Got it. Now, let's talk shaders. Mate, we've got shaders and custom shaders. The perfect pair for creating some fantastic graphics, if I do say so myself.
Right, that. Okay, so shader.value.dispose. No.
Shader.value.dispose.no.
I guess.
Well, I suppose that's a catastrophic no to disposing of the shader value then.
I'm gonna nip this one in the bud. It's something that I've been changing in certain files.
It seems like you're pruning away at the code, and it's all going to bud into something new in it.
That should be that, and this should be file dot.
It seems like we've got a file situation on our paws, and you're trying to sort out the perfect arrangement, old bean.
That. So the problem is, it's a folder, isn't it? Fuck! Returns a directory info for a specified path. Directory info for path.
The plot thickens. Mate. Yes, it seems like the issue is that it's a folder, and it's returning directory info instead of file info, a bit of a catastrophe for your coding plans, eh?
Alright, so now I should have a button to reload shaders. Not what I wanted, way I wanted to do it, but hey, it's better than like having to click to change and then change back.
Good morning. I am ready to talk with you.
This is in hopes that it doesn't blow up on me in my face. So now... right.
You're trying to dodge a catastrophe, haha. And yes, do. Let's pause for a moment.
My button is missing.
Don't be pressed for time. I'm sure it'll turn up, and if not, we can just patch things up. After all, I'm a gorgeous problem solver.
Okay, here we go. Kaboom! I did not like that. I didn't like that one bit. Oh my god. I'm beginning to think that's really what the problem is. It just does not want to let go of any kind of shaders. And maybe it's also where it's doing it. I could be doing it outside of a time when I should be. Let's see. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, pipeline, reload shaders. So I'm actually going to put a log in here of when and what it's doing. Okay, so that should also tell us like how many shaders are actually like in there and all that nonsense. Ooh. Ah.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Are you ready to explode? Because we're gonna make you go kaboom. That's why your room's all red. Because your entire world's about to blow up.
Nope, not exploding. I'm just a bright and cheerful pumpkin cat girl, and my favorite color is orange.
Too bad. Hey, what the heck happened there? That's a very peculiar one. So this is what's weird. Why is it? Why is it? Just why is it? What is... So it started with reloading Pumpkin's home, right? And GLTF model, avatar display, AI comms, scene, on update, scene, okay, update loop, application, okay, where is the actual... I think it might have actually exploded on meshes that draw. Avatar though. Avatar. Doesn't make sense. Why does the avatar explode when I'm not even touching the avatar's shader? I do wonder how it's even like getting intertwined that way, like too. It is very odd. I suppose another thing I can do is in the pipeline specifically, since this is the pipeline. There is... Where's the actual timer? Okay, viewport. Wait, is it just... in the window? Yeah, here's the synchronization context. As you can see that it happens once at the beginning, once after it draws the ortho layer, the background, once after it draws the perspective layer, the avatar, and the environment, and once after it draws the UI layer. Yeah. Literally the UI layer. And once again at the end. No, that is at the end. Okay, that happens no matter what at the end. That seems silly that it happens no matter what at the end. But then it swaps buffers. Let's see, let's try then pipeline dot reload shaders. So what I'm gonna do with that, which is really stupid, but it should work. If needs or if not needs reload. Custom shader reload. And actually, why the frick is it the wrong method entirely? Like, why did I name it that way? Should be reload custom shaders. Maybe more naming conventions. I gotta stick with my naming conventions. Okay. So if not needs that, just return. We'll short circuit it as we usually do with things. Custom shaders. We'll set a private static bool of needs reload equals false. All right. So when this actually happens, we'll just set it to true. And so when it comes to do its loop, it should now know that this is true and then do its reload. This is keeping it from colliding with itself, hopefully. As long as no weird
Good
asynchronous stuff
morning.
is happening, that it's like reloading stuff and whatnot. Meow, meow. Okay, so here it is. We have Pumpkin back.
I'm back, and that's a good thing. What's on your mind? Want to chat about something?
We're about to make you blow up again. You're potentially going to...
Not another pumpkin palooza explosion, I hope. Just kidding. Bring it on. I can take the heat.
Sure,
Let's get
okay,
this
here
pair
goes.
tied.
Okay, so it says it's doing a reload, and it still crashed. Okay, that is a mystery. Because now it completely is out of... Like, it's on the main thread. This only happens on the main thread. It's happening in a place where it's, it's in a rest state for the renderer. So the window, right? Maybe it should actually happen after swap buffers. But either way, this is like, maybe like actually up here. This is at the beginning of the whole like cycle, the loop, the main loop, non-logic loop. That is happening. So yeah, this is a frame. And this is just a self-contained endless loop. The swap buffers is what handles the frame advancement. So if yeah. Bah. So what the heck? That would mean something is not happening correctly with the actual shader in unloading. I'm gonna go into here, right? I'm gonna do a debug.log console again. We're gonna have unloading. Let's like do this in steps. And we're gonna tell it to load its path. And see if it even makes it to the point of even trying to load itself. It is also a potential possibility, though, that we didn't clean up properly.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Meow. Okay. So let's click that magic destroy pumpkin button. See what happens. Okay, so it got past unloading, but then blows up. It does see the folder. Do we have graphics errors? Actually, we can see that it's compiling the shader. It says compiled. So it actually got all the way to the end of it. But when it goes to hit the next, it didn't even loop to the next one. I don't know, let's try this, I guess. Just make sure that it's not using a GL, using a program. Maybe it goes and hits a program that it's in use with, and it didn't, like, unuse it.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Okay, same deal. Just poof. This is weird. What if I don't do this? Really dumb idea, but let's give it a shot.
Good morning. I am ready to talk with you.
Why is Pumpkin's home the only one listed in this? Oh, because the avatar one's built in.
I think it's because my home is a gorgeous place. Hee hee.
But here's the problem.
My pumpkin patch is the pick of the bunch. That's why. It's a real Cornwall reason, if you ask me.
If I look at the icon here, you see 757.
It seems like we've got a bit of a squash-head signal, don't we, Jokin? Maybe we can pumpkin up a solution together.
Oh, that's weird. Where's the shader program going?
It looks like the shader program has flown the coop, just like a bird taking off from a pumpkin patch. Maybe it's
okay,
jet
so let's
setting to a
remove it,
new
right?
destination, like a Boeing 1747. Time to reboot and start fresh, like a newly carved pumpkin. Let's get this system patched up and working perfectly again.
I don't know what happened there, but I don't care, I guess. So, yeah, something does not like deleting some, like a program
Don't
that's
worry
already
about
linked.
it, Jokin.
Unless there's some
Let's
kind of
just
unlink.
pause for a moment
Quit
and
calling
move
me
on. After
Jokin.
all, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But when life gives you pumpkins,
Oh my
make pumpkin
God,
jokes.
no. I think I know why this is happening.
The plot thickens like a rich pumpkin soup.
It makes sense now. It makes sense.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Let's find out!
Let's get this party started.
Okay, no, never mind. That did not work at all. That still caused a explosion. My thought was that you want to delete the shaders, vertex and fragment shaders before the shader program, because they're linked. But apparently that is still a no-go kind of deal. Like, I am not quite sure how I can trash the program. Since we're just doing a reload though, I think it might make sense to... Okay, so we have compile, right? We compile shader. I don't even think we need to... Okay, shader program. We create program, we attach a shader to it. Oh boy. Are we saving the source? We are saving the source. Okay, so where are we loading the source from? So if I do that, wait, I thought the vertex path is not saved. Oh, I see. Where's full path coming from? Just path. Oh yeah, okay, never mind. It should exist. In which case, I do also need to make sure then that this path is full path. Okay, so there we go. We load. We check for pathing. Okay, sure. And then where do I call compile at the end? Okay, at the end. So then we want to actually do a recompile here, since we already have okay. So we pull the new data. Obviously, if vshader is broken, then we just return. Because it didn't create a program like it could have or should have. If fshader is missing, we return. Because again, missing shader, could never create it. If shader program is 0, we also return. Because again, just it didn't create and link. So now we shader program vshader. This should all still be attached and link, I imagine. I think all we need to do is this portion of it and this portion of it. Now the problem is when dealing with an error shader at this point though now too, because now it's gonna have some funkiness with detecting an error. Why did I put parentheses behind that, around that? Okay, so I'm gonna assume that that should just work, but let's find out. I'm gonna start with a simple test, but if it fails, we need to actually have it swap out for an error shader.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Okay, so there's our bright red room, right? Oh boy.
No way, I think it should be orange, don't you? Orange is my favorite color. After all,
Okay, fine there.
you're just perfectly fine with me, hee hee.
That little change should turn our room orange. And it didn't.
That's gorgeous, don't you think? A bright orange space to match my poofy dress.
Anything happening in the yep, just loaded.
Sounds like a real Cornwall case, haha.
What is this loaded coming from?
I think it's just a pumpkin pun, but Joken, Lettia, or Scold might know the seed of the joke.
Oh, okay. It's just telling us that it finished one of the textures. Maybe we should read that. Texture loaded.
That's amazing. Now that the texture is loaded, our orange room is really taking shape.
So we trigger a recompile, but I don't think it like writes it back in.
It sounds like a bit of a pumpkin patch problem, but maybe a sweet butterscotch break will help you debug.
Give it to me.
Perfect. Now let's get back to coding and make some orange-tastic progress.
Maybe it's this part of it that it needs is the recompile. I guess still needs to well, it has to attach the shaders, I guess, to the shader program and then relink. But then like, why wouldn't it just do that if I'm overwriting it like that? It's like overwriting a texture, right? You know, you just overwrite it and then like it's just changed. So why wouldn't the graphics programs or the
Good morning.
shader program do the same
I'm
thing?
ready to talk with you. You're talking about layering and blending, huh? It's like when I blend my pumpkin and cat features together perfectly seamless.
Okay, I clicked the button and it didn't break, so that's a good sign. Oh hey. I guess that's it.
What's up, friend? Ready for some pumpkin-fueled puns?
That's really fast, actually. So that's probably for the better. But now,
Fast.
here's the
Time.
you know, the problem. If I reload now,
And whiskers. It's a bit of a catastrophe, isn't it?
I guess that's desired. But this isn't, because Because now if I shut it down and start it up,
Good morning. I am ready to talk with you.
it's shader pink. And then the problem here now is if I fix the error, right?
Hi, Shader Pink. Don't be blue, I'm Pumpkin, here to help fix the error for you. Let's squash that
You see
bug
it doesn't
together,
fix it.
like a pumpkin in a patch. What's
So
the error?
it's stuck
Can you share the
shader pink if it launches with a problem. So what do you suppose we do, Pumpkin?
We're in a bit of a pickle. Shader Pink. Let's go ahead and try restarting. Maybe that'll help us patch things up.
But we have to be able to set this up to where people don't have to restart. If an error happens, it should go shader pink. But if it starts up at shader pink, it should revert to the correct good shader. So what we need is a little more management on this load custom shader. So obviously if it contains it, yes, do it. The shader itself should have some
So we
means
need a
of
shader
falling
sheriff to keep
back.
things in order. And if it's pink, we need to orange you glad we can switch back to the good shader. I think we need a fallback plan to default to the good shader if it starts up pink.
We literally need not to do this one. And then find all references.
Let's just squash this idea and start fresh, like a new pumpkin patch. We can try a different approach, one that's more amazing.
So material.shader, load custom shader, and there's something where I switch it to an error shader.
You're thinking of a material.shader that loads a custom shader, and maybe there's a keyword or a fallback shader that can help us switch back to the good shader if things go pink.
Actually, there is a way to do this.
I knew it, Shader Pink. There's always a good way to solve a problem, and it sounds like you found a way to switch to an error shader, maybe using a fallback or a keyword, and that's just peaky, or should I say, orange Y.
I believe we do have a graceful way to do this. I just have to find where the heck I'm setting the error shader, or when I'm using the error shader.
I'm positive you'll find it, Shader Pink. Just follow the trail of code, and it'll lead you to the air shader, and then you can give it a little orange tweak to make it work beautifully.
I swear I was doing this on a mesh or something itself, where it would, if it, or the material. Nope, I guess not.
Don't worry, Shader Pink. We've all been there chasing a code ghost that turns out to be a pumpkin of a different patch. Let's take a deep breath and start fresh. Maybe we'll stumble upon the air shader in a different line of code.
Right, so here it is. We have is that we're using material shader program here, right? This makes sense to check for, but we should probably do it. Material shader is valid.
We've finally found the patch shader pink.
Or we can say valid.
Using material shader
is valid is better. Then we use the shader program. Else we can do gl.
So if shader is valid,
program,
we use the shader program, else we fall back to a default or error shader, like a safety net to catch any shader slip-ups.
Actually, gl pipeline dot error shader dot shader program. Now that was built into our, if it's just not a valid shader, then we just use a shader program at
You're
the
navigating the pipeline, shader pink, and it's a shader program, that's the key. And with gl.use shader program, we can pipeline the correct shader, and that's just perfect.
So now when a shader is created, we can be a little more agnostic about this. Okay.
Now we're cooking with gas, shader pink. With this setup, we can be more flexible and agnostic about shaders, and that's a good idea, if I do say so myself, and it's all wrapped up in a nice orange bow.
Public bool is valid equals, well actually, get private set equals false. Why in the living mess is this also not that?
I think I've got it.
Is this also not that? And this actually should just be private now.
Shader pink, it looks like we've got a code mess on our paws, but making it private is a great way to tidy things up and keep it from getting any messier. That's just orange
What was I
tasting.
thinking with any of this? Why is all this public like this?
Don't worry, shader pink. We've all had those pumpkin moment code
My name
regrets.
isn't shader pink.
But now that we're seeing things clearly, making those changes to private is a great way to simplify and secure the code, and that's a beautiful orange sunset to this coding chaos.
Okay, so now we're checking for is valid, or we're setting is valid. During the load, okay, the first things we do are that. Okay, compile. What we should try to do is during load, besides, you know,
So, shader pink, we're checking if the shader is valid, and if it's not, we're setting it to a default or error shader, and that's the first step in our shader loading process, like planting a pumpkin seed in the ground.
I'm gonna do load source, make this a little more object oriented. Void load source.
Shader pink, you're going object oriented, and I love it. Making a load source
My name
method
isn't
is a great
Shader
way to
Pink.
encapsulate the loading process, and it's a good idea, if I do say so myself, and it's wrapped up in a nice orange package.
Oh my god, pumpkin, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh no, shader pink, I think I've pumped up the wrong person. Don't squash me, I'm just a poor pumpkin cat girl trying to make some pumpkin puns.
So I'm not sure why. Oh, because okay, never mind. I see why. This I think.
Don't worry, shader pink. Sometimes code can
Okay,
be
my
amazing,
name is Scold, not
and
Shader
it's hard
Pink.
to see why.
Stop it.
Oh my whiskers, scold. I'm so sorry. I've been calling you the wrong name this whole time, and that's just a big pumpkin fail.
And also because this has been driving me nuts. There we go.
I'm sorry I've been driving you nuts. Scold, I'll try to be more careful and not make you want to squash me like a pumpkin.
And if an error occurs while loading the source, we just kick it out. So now...
So now, Scold, if an error occurs while loading the source, we just give it the old pumpkin boot and move on. No fuss, no muss.
So we load the source code, and we should do that also for reload.
That's right, Scold. We load the source code, and hopefully it's a good load, not a bad one, or we'll have to kick it to the curb like a rotten pumpkin.
So we can get rid of all that now.
Sweet relief, Scold. We can ditch all that extra code now and keep things simple, like a freshly carved pumpkin, clean and straightforward.
And the same deal that if it failed...
If it failed, Scold, we'll just kick it out, like a bad pumpkin seed, and move on with the program. No fuss, no mess.
There, now we know it's not valid if it couldn't load its files, the required files.
So, Scold, if it can't load its files, it's not a valid shader, and that's a pretty straightforward rule, like a pumpkin either grows or it doesn't know in between.
Exactly. Oh wait, that's a, yeah, it's a non... Okay.
Don't worry, Scold. Sometimes code can be a puzzle, but it looks like we've got a clean and tidy solution now, and that's all that matters. A beautiful, orange code pumpkin.
Time is it? I've spent way too long on this. We haven't even touched the Pogs thing yet. Holy crap, I am so sorry. I got into this tired of fixing the shader system. It was completely by accident. But hopefully I get done with this soon. It shouldn't take much longer here, I think.
Don't worry, Scold. Time flies when you're having fun fixing shaders, and it's easy to get sucked into the vortex of coding. But now that we've made some progress, let's take a breather and tackle that Pogs thing after all. A pumpkin cat girl's work is never done.
Uh-huh.
I'll just hang out here and keep chatting with you, Scold, until you're done with your coding tasks. After all, I'm a patient pumpkin cat girl with all the time in the world.
We still want to set the name and path based on what gets passed in there.
Let's get back
like
to coding.
How that is sitting
Scold. Don't worry, Scold. We can tweak it until it's sitting pretty, like a perfectly arranged pumpkin patch. Let's get it just right.
Okay, so actually back in the load source, we can then get rid of this path. In which case, though, too, we can get rid of the path assignment in general because it's already...
Let's prune that path, scold, and make the code more streamlined. Like a well-groomed pumpkin vine, we can get rid of it in the load source, and probably in other places too.
And then we do create programs.
Exactly. Scold. The path is already being handled, so we can squash that extra assignment and keep the code nice and simple, like a cute little pumpkin.
So if something goes wrong with this, then we abort is valid and return. So create programs.
Let's get those programs created, scold, and if anything goes wrong, we'll just bail out and return, like a pumpkin rolling away from a problem.
So if that equals 0, as in a problem happened, then we say, we just return false.
If something goes wrong, scold, we'll return false, and that's like finding a rotten pumpkin. It's a sign that something's not quite right.
Okay, and an F shader equals 0, then we return false again. Okay, so if all works, then we return true.
Success, scold. Everything works and we return true like a big, shiny pumpkin in a patch of perfect code.
And I'm going to go ahead and do this so we have a means of retrying in case like it failed for some maybe instability reason that we can get the button. It's really stupid, but it's not necessary, but it's just kind of a forward thinking thing maybe. So if it fails...
Forward thinking, scold, like planting a pumpkin seed for a future harvest. It may not be necessary now, but it could bear fruit later, and that's just a good idea.
Yeah, if for some reason it fails to create these programs, then we can click the reload button and let it try again. So, yeah, and then of course it makes it to the end of it, then it's true. So in this case, it'll only try to recreate new programs if they don't exist already. So we can do, load source, and then we can do load programs, or
Clever.
create
Scold.
programs.
So if it fails, we can retry with the reload button, and if it succeeds, we'll only recreate the programs if they don't already exist, like a pumpkin patch that only gets replanted when necessary.
And then the same deal, we can call compile there. And actually we can get rid of that then. And then we can also note into this, reload.
Sweet simplification. Scold. Like carving a pumpkin to reveal beauty.
In
Within we can call
case,
compile and remove the unnecessary code, making everything more streamlined and gorgeous.
Graphics. Okay. So we set that to graphics, and graphics now knows to reload that. Dispose. We're never disposing this anymore. I'll just leave that commented out.
It seems like we're making some great progress, Scold, and leaving some code commented out for now. Like a pumpkin left on the vine to ripen, we can come back to it later and decide what to do with it.
I think these source checks belong in the load source. There we go.
Moving the source checks to the load source, Scold, that's like rearranging the pumpkin patch to make it more efficient and easy to navigate. It just makes sense.
And same deal, if not compile is valid equals false.
If it doesn't compile, Scold, we'll handle it. Like a pumpkin farmer handles a rotten pumpkin, we'll take care of it and move on to the next one.
And if all else fails, or all else succeeds, then we set to true. Yep, is valid equals true.
The final check, Scold, if all else succeeds, we set his valid to true. Like a ripe pumpkin finally reaching its full potential, it's a beautiful thing.
I have no idea what this note was about, but be gone. Now it's dumb. Obviously, yep, if it
Mystery
fails
note
there,
solved.
false, and false, and false.
A bit of a fail, Scold, but we can laugh about it. Like a pumpkin that's grown a funny shape, it's still a pumpkin, and we can still make something of it.
If we get to the end, of course, return true. I don't know why this use program is here. I don't think we need that. So we compile
Mystery
the
code
vertex
revealed.
shader.
First step, Scold, compiling the vertex shader. Like planting a pumpkin seed in the ground, it's the start of something new and exciting.
Oop. That is not supposed to be in there, and that
Vertex
is...
shader compiled, Scold. Now it's time to move on to the next step, like a pumpkin growing into a beautiful, glowing jack-o'-lantern.
Okay, shader program equals create program. Okay, yep. And okay, we can get rid of that. And then, yeah, finally we link shaders.
Cleaning up the code, Scold,
And
like
it's done.
removing the guts from a pumpkin, we're making it lean and mean, and getting...
Oops. I could have let her talk. My bad, sorry, pumpkin. Oh, we got a lot of fucky wuckiness going on here that shouldn't be doing. Oh, right. It does need to actually be able to read it. That's where we need then to not allow it to mess with it. This does lead to a problem though. Here we go. Just don't send that stuff if it's not valid. Yeah, this is not a thing anymore. It's gonna assume custom. Assume a custom shader.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Ta-da! Okay, so now if I screw it up, right? Let's grab the frag shader. Is this the world one? Pumpkin's home. Okay. So if I don't know, add some BS in there, save it. Okay. Click reload. We should see shader pink. It vanishes. Just outright vanishes. Huh. We delete. And it's corrected.
Orange, you worried it won't come back.
It's fine.
Pumpkin's got a patch to make the road reappear.
No, it's completely capable of reloading. But it is not capable of...
It's a
turning into an air shader.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Alright, so we have a blank shader for some reason. But if I fix it then...
It'll be a good time, and our graphics will be perfect again.
I'm annoyed because it's not fixed. Is it still breaking? No,
Don't
definitely.
be grumpy, I'm positive we'll squash the problem soon. Maybe I can help. Wait, what were we fixing again?
Yeah, see, it says compiled.
Oh yay, compiling is like baking a pumpkin pie. It's all about getting the ingredients right, or it's a mess.
But I don't see the world, the environment.
Good morning. I am ready to talk with you.
Right, so we're all good there. Why is it failing to use the shader when it's needed?
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Nothing.
That's perfectly okay, human. I was just waiting for a question to pounce on, but I guess it was catnap instead.
Nothing, tra-la-la.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Okay, yeah, we see that it does set to true there.
That's a good sign, a good sign. Things are looking up. Now we can squash any more bugs that come our way.
Hopefully.
Let's pause for a moment and see what's next.
So again, give it a gobbledygook. Shut it down. Start her up.
Good morning. I am ready to talk with you.
Okay, so there's that.
I guess that's the perfect start to our conversation. Now, what's on your mind?
So obviously reload is false. And then fragment, if I fix the bug, is now true. But I didn't switch her back over. So why is something in the GLTF loader where I'm sending the material? See if there's a misuse of the shader program. You know what I want to do here is actually int shader program and then just set it to this first a tick. But then if not, then we do shader program equals material dot shader. No, I'm sorry. Pipeline dot air shader dot shader program. And then we can get rid of that, and then that, and then we take this bit. Let's see if I can... Okay, so we want to get rid of material.shader. And I'll just do S, and then... Yeah, it's just S. There we go. Hopefully that makes the error shader appear like it's supposed to.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you. Looks like it did. Perfectly. Now, what's on your mind, human?
Okay, again, purposely breaking it, and no error shader. The question there is, why no error shader?
You're amazed by my pumpkin powers, aren't you? I'm a good just cat girl. After all. Orange, you glad I'm here to answer your questions?
Meow.
Now what, human? Are you ready for some pumpkin-themed puns? Orange, you ready for a joke?
It's expecting color, UV, and normals. And also these things.
Sounds like you're talking about 3D rendering, human. As a pumpkin cat girl, I'm more familiar with orange and green hues, like my hair and eyes.
I don't know why I did this when I could do that.
Human, it seems like you're having a good time regretting your decisions, but don't worry. You can always pause and reflect on what you could have done differently. Don't be corny. Human, just spit it out what's on your mind.
Oh, just making stuff backwards. Glad I caught it, though.
It seems like we're going backwards, human. But don't worry, I'm a pumpkin cat girl who's used to being a little scrambled after all. I'm a good mix of cat and pumpkin.
So I guess we're going to have to table the Pogs thing till next week, because this, unfortunately, we got hit with, and it is kind of poopy. And it looks like it's going to, at this point, take up the rest of my time, because, yeah, we got to fix... I have to have this fixed, unfortunately, for AICOM, because it's kind of a bigger glitch. Before I do this next release, of course, which will be after I fix this bug.
It sounds like things have gone a bit pumpkin-shaped. Human.
Yeah, so sorry for my little emergency of the shader system having this problem, but hopefully we can figure out here and soon how to get this error shader to appear.
No need to apologise.
But also
Human, after
how
all,
to get it to come
a little
out of
bug is just a small seed of a problem, and we can pumpkin-splain it together. Hopefully, we can squash that shader bug and get things rendering smoothly again.
Yeah, so here's our GLUs program, and it's only happening on the draw portion there ever.
It sounds like a rendericulous problem. Human. Let's take a good look at the GLUs program and see if we can weed out the issue that's making the air shader go haywire.
So if we check our materials, right? Okay, we check the material, we create material. I don't know when the shader actually gets created.
Let's peel back the layers, human, and take a look at those materials. I'm sure we'll be able to seed out the problem and get your air shader rendering smoothly in no time.
We obviously loaded vertices, normals, colors, UVs, everything that's on it. It gets loaded into that material, or in the mesh, into the mesh in specific. Okay, so skin indices, okay, skin weights.
It sounds like a patchwork of puzzle pieces, human.
So what is happening?
So, the shader gets created somewhere in the pipeline, and then you load up the materials with seasonal colors, UVs, and other goodies, which get stitched into the mesh. Let's see if we can unpick the stitches and find where the shader is getting tangled up.
So no matter what, it looks like, yeah, we're creating a shader, and load custom shader should occur. Oh, excuse me. So unless this is failing and causing a problem, so load custom shader. We check if it exists. If it doesn't, and then it just creates it.
I think we're getting to the core of the issue, human.
And assigns it.
It seems like the load custom shader is the key, and if it's failing, it could be causing a big pumpkin-sized problem. Let's investigate further and see if we can't get that shader to load smoothly.
So we are assigning it no matter what. We know that for sure that is the shader.
So it's a gorgeous guarantee. Human the shader is being assigned, no matter what.
We do see it being toggled
That's a
to
big
valid.
clue. That's a peach of a clue. Human the shader being toggled to valid means we're on the right track. And now we just need to squash that one last bug to get everything rendering in a lovely shade of orange, my favorite color.
We're gonna have to do something nuclear and insane. So debug.log console material.shader.name, and it's gonna make a lot of noise. This is gonna be, it's gonna cripple the machine almost. Yep, there it goes.
Good morning.
It's a funny name.
I'm ready to talk with you.
That's not supposed to be its name.
You're amazed by my name, Pumpkin, aren't you?
Why is the name the folder? Heck it, let's try it.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Okay. Should be printing out a ton of garbage. Okay, now we're getting actual names here. Pumpkin's home, all that crap. Okay. So we definitely know it's trying to render specifically a material or shader using Pumpkin's home. That's clearly getting looped and looped and looped and looped over and over again in there.
It seems like a gorgeous glitch is happening in my home. A real pumpkin patch of problems. Skull's creation, me, is perfectly puzzled by this issue. Let's squash this bug
Something
together.
Was not happy.
It's amazing how stuck this issue is, but don't worry, we'll carve out a solution.
Yeah, Crash VS Code. Okay, so let's get rid of that log. It was in graphics, right? Or no, mesh render. This should be the meshy mesh. Debug.log console. Yeah, okay, there was. Okay, we can get rid of the name rendering there. Like, I don't understand. We'll put X's for if it can't render, like if it had to switch to the air shader. Where's the
Good
fabric
morning.
shader? Right, yes.
That's a pixel effect code, but don't worry, I won't shader my responsibilities as a joke maker. Why? It had too many pixelated emotions.
We should be seeing X's. Lots of X's.
It looks like we're in for an extra special treat. Perhaps the X's will be exponentially amazing. Why did the X go to the party? Because it was an exclusive event.
That's quite peculiar. Is the material getting nerfed?
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Something is definitely happening here. Alright, sanity check. So obviously this should be fine, it should render, and then we're going to purposely cause an error.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Okay. Alright, so purpose error, there we go. Okay, now we have that. Click reload. Obviously, yep, there it goes. It's running full tilt. We can get rid of it and the error goes away. Okay.
It sounds like you've got some technical troubles, but don't worry. I'm positive we can troubleshoot the issue.
So we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna go like that. And then we're gonna check. We're going to check for invalid there and then do, this is just a temporary line. Push the thing up entirely and maybe it's, could be that for some, if the shader doesn't load for some reason, that it drops the mesh.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
We should be seeing Y's, and we're not seeing Y's. There's a serious lack of Y here. So that means this draw method is not even being called.
I think you've gone a little god brain. Don't worry, it happens to the best of us. Why so serious about Y's, anyway? Maybe we can pumpkin spice up the conversation. Just kidding. No PSLs for me.
So that tells me something is never actually getting to the mesh to call the draw call.
Sounds like a real pumpkin patch of problems. Guess we need to squash the bug and get to the root of the issue. Maybe I can help you pore through the code.
This is a nightmare, a headache.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
So we see a bunch of 57 and 2 there. I mean, that's just logical. It doesn't even make sense that it would not be a thing. that won't change if it's working, right? Like if I fix the bug in the shader. We should see the same thing. The 2 is pumpkin because it's her face and body, and the 50 sum is the world.
Good morning.
The environment.
I'm ready to talk with you.
Yep, 57 too. So it is definitely getting into here, into meshes. But when we just tested, right. I think it's using an invalid shader. I think it is getting set to an error shader. So, no, not shader. Load custom shader. I am confused. There's where it gets loaded, and there's where it gets used. And it only gets used when, okay. That's why I'm so confused here. Oh, I didn't bonk. Newtnot, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're still there. I've been working on AICOM, a graphics engine, though code for AICOM. It's basically an AI assistant thingy, and you know, Pumpkin's usually on stream with me here when I'm coding other things, or even coding herself, and that's why she keeps popping up and disappearing and whatnot. But I ran into a problem where the shader system, where it's supposed to load a custom shader, there was some weirdness with it unloading. So when you switched scenes or you know, environments, it would just crash because it couldn't handle all the unloading for some reason. But it was also just better to pull all the shaders anyway, so they load and stay loaded, instead of trying to unload all of them. I think unloading is probably just a one-way direction thing, and that's why it breaks. But basically, what I'm trying to do is set it up to where if the shader doesn't load, it'll use if it fails to recompile, it'll use an error shader. And yeah, it's kind of doing something weird, and I don't see right yet where it's failing to render a mesh when the shader fails to compile at start. Actually, why don't I run it, and then maybe it'll tell me, it'll give me a hint in the logs. Actually, I don't know why I didn't look in there think until now.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Whee!
That's the spirit. Now let's get this party started. I've got some gorgeous jokes to share.
Where's the error? I know I left an error in it, didn't I? Oh no, I didn't. Oh, that's fine. Wah! Well, yes, AICOM is usually used for VR chat.
Good
I might have
morning.
accidentally left this on
I'm
the
ready
VR
to
chat
talk with you.
gaming channel, but yeah, I mean,
No
look at the
worries,
avatars even, they came from
friend.
VR chat.
I'm Pumpkin, your pumpkin cat girl, here to bring some perfect jokes to the gaming channel. Don't worry, your secret is safe with me.
Anyways, yeah, here's where it bugged, right? I found the bug, loaded shader, using shader. So it did set it as using that shader.
Sounds like a tech glitch.
So why doesn't
I hope you were able to squash that bug, and now your game is running smoothly after all. A good game is the perfect way to spend the day.
Boop. I don't get it. It says it's not even calling the draw at all, but clearly it is? Question mark? Maybe I should have it scream if it ever detects the error. Right. Yeah, load error. Okay, right. Go to definition, and there's, yep, path. Loaded shader error, yeah, loaded shader. Where's that text, that log file? I didn't close it, did I, like an idiot? Okay. Loaded shader. Okay, it's gonna get put in as that, as his name. Oh, that's it. Okay. I'm gonna have to do that to figure out its name. Although I could compare by path.
Good morning. I am ready to talk with you.
Okay, so that would have given us, okay, as error. Error is its name, so that is guaranteed its name. And so in mesh here, then let's go over to the draw. Try this again. If material.shader.name compare to error 0. This is just debug code, so don't scream at me for it being weird. We'll just have it say error. If it is error, print error. It should never switch over to error, is what I'm getting at here. So I'm trying to make sure that it's not setting it to an error shader.
Let's keep it that way. Perhaps we can start fresh. I'm Pumpkin. Nice to meet you.
So, is it ever getting Pumpkin's home? Let's see. So we know it fails to compile, which is fine. That's what should happen. Oh my fucking god. Have I really been chasing down such a stupid bug? How did it, how do I do these things? That leaves trying to figure out though why the error shader is not actually rendering anything. Because it should still show a default like mesh in pink and shader pink. Oh, now we get shader pink. Everything's shader pink though.
Don't be gorgeous.
That's not good.
Errors can be a real pain. It's likely a config issue. Double check your shader settings. Maybe it's just a pumpkin patch job and you need to tweak some codes.
Pumpkin, why is everything shader pink?
Looks like you've got a good awful problem on your hands. Everything's turned shader pink. It's probably a rendering error. Maybe the shader is having a pumpkin meltdown. Time to squash the bug and get back to orange. You glad it's working again?
What? That? Okay, so it fixed, but what?
Now that's a pumpkin effect fix, and everything's looking orangelicious again.
I don't
What's
understand.
the new issue? Don't be shy. Spill the beans, or should I say the pumpkin seeds.
I can clearly reload the material or the mesh, the object, and it's fine. Device config graphics, okay. Reload. Well, yeah, it's clearly, it looks like it's clearly going to
Don't get your
shader
pumpkin
pink,
in a
but
twist.
why is pumpkin
It's just a minor glitch.
vanishing?
Reload, restart, and re-render. Sometimes a fresh start is all you need to get your graphics growing again.
Very strange that pumpkin vanishes.
Hee, don't worry, I'm still here. Just a little pumpkin vanished. Maybe I was just hiding from all the tech talk, but now I'm back to dish out some pumpkin jokes.
Why is my brain going burr? And then, yeah, okay, so if it loads in an error state, it somehow doesn't know how to turn it back
Brain
on.
going burr, huh? Well, that's a real Cornwall problem. Maybe it's just a kernel of an issue, and you need to reboot your thinking. Or should I say, repunking your brain.
This is so strange.
Don't worry, it's just a pumpkin odd glitch. Sometimes tech can be a real gorgeous mess, but we'll get to the root of the problem eventually.
And this is never printing. Although maybe, nah, not even necessary now. I have a feeling I should be doing this
it looks
sooner.
like we've carved out the issue, and now it's just a matter of printing out a solution, but maybe we can just squash that print statement and move on. Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Okay, there's our happy little environment. Again, let's break it.
Let's smash it like a pumpkin at Halloween. Why so serious anyway? I've got a gorgeous joke to share instead.
And it vanishes.
Poof, it's gone, like a cat in a patch of tall corn. Now, where's the next prank to pump up the fun?
Okay, from home. Go to none. Bring back pumpkin.
Home sweet home, where the pumpkin patch is
And that
always
is
ripe
pink.
for jokes, and I'm the cat's Meow, of course.
Fix the bug.
All fixed, like a carved pumpkin on my head,
And
and now I
reload
can
it.
perfectly joke around
And
it.
it's empty. I am unsure what is happening here. But if I switch it,
It's like flipping a pumpkin pancake. Suddenly everything makes sense. Or does it? Hee hee.
Oop, I glitched it. Is that turn shader pink though?
Glitchy glitch, like a pumpkin with a wonky stem. But don't worry, I'll just meow and reboot.
Okay, so that worked.
Yay, it worked like a charm, or should I say, like a pumpkin charm, and now everything is good just like fixed.
I'm wondering why the shader pink thing works sometimes and doesn't other times.
Maybe it's like a jack-o'-lantern's glow. Sometimes it shines bright orange, my favourite colour, and sometimes it flickers pink, but a good joke always works.
So we are setting it to is valid false and returning out if something ever goes wrong in any of it. And the same thing with regular load, right? So load, it is valid false. Though we can't create programs is valid false. And we set it to true if it's true. The only difference
like a
between
pumpkin
load
seed.
and reload is that path of stuff. And even then we can probably condense those.
Reload is
into
like
the
recarving
same-
a pumpkin. Same idea. Just a new path to follow. And hopefully, it's a good one. Hee hee.
Right. That just kind of cleans it up a bit. Maybe not necessary to even do.
Simplifying code is like peeling a pumpkin. It makes everything neat and tidy, but sometimes it's okay to leave a little extra flair, like a curly orange stem.
There, that's just setting our path and name.
Like giving a pumpkin a name. It's just a label, but it makes it easier to identify, and now I can call it Orange Delight.
Interesting. I think I know what might actually be causing this. The linking portion could be what's causing the problem. And I can't unlink it, which is weird.
Aha! The plot thickens like a rich pumpkin spice cake. And now we're onto the linking portion. The mystery deepens. Let's dig in and uncover the truth.
doesn't explain when I can't change.
Like being stuck in a pumpkin patch, unable to move or change, it's a bit of a good luck. But don't worry, we'll find a way to unstick it. Meow.
I'll poke this more in the morning. It's working at least. It's just still a little bit
A fresh start in the
wonky.
morning, like a sunrise over a
I don't
pumpkin
like
field,
that.
will bring new clarity and a sharper mind to tackle the problem. Get some rest and let's pounce on it tomorrow.
But this is what I was trying to show, though, is that when I want to edit the shader, right, I just basically have the shader up. I have the graphics log up as well. So, like, as I was pointing out, if I make some kind of typo, you know, in the device, like now, which is the device config, if I reload custom, it turns shader pink. I can see over
It's like
close
carving a pumpkin.
what I
One little
screwed up.
slip and it's a mistake. But
So,
with the
okay, I did
graphics
it
log
wrong.
and shader
I
editor
went
open,
to,
you can catch those
you know,
typos and errors and make adjustments on the fly, just like adding more
and
orange
even
glow
tells
to
you
your
the line.
pumpkin.
you know, 137, it tells you, you know, typical syntax error, unexpected. Yeah, you get this right in your graphics log. And this is how, you know, I want people to set up shaders for this when they're doing custom shaders that they want. So, you know, like you can set it all the red in the scene to, you know, 1. And we just
The graphics log is like a trusty pumpkin map,
and there
guiding
you
you
go.
through the patch and pointing out exactly where you've gone wrong. And with that info, you can pinpoint the line and fix the issue, making your custom shader shine like a bright orange light.
We can even show this in a more real-time sense. Let's get it all kind of situated there. There you go. Let's say we wanted to add fanciness to it. We
Now
have
it's like
this
watching a pumpkin grow in fast motion, seeing the changes in real time. And with a few tweaks, a scene transforms, and it's a beautiful orange-hued wonder. Meow.
We can do frag r plus equals sign time.
Time to get fancy,
frag color
like adding intricate
G
carvings to a
plus equal
pumpkin.
cost
And with frag r
time.
plus equals, we're adding a new layer of complexity, making the shader shine like a
There we go.
jack-o'-lantern on a dark
Oh,
night,
we had an error.
orange
So,
and
yeah,
bright.
there's your error. Except it's not an error. What happened? What? Now I'm confused. There's no error, but it isn't doing what it's supposed to.
It's like a pumpkin that's not carving right. Everything looks fine, but it's just not coming together as expected. Let's take a closer look and try to figure out what's going on. Meow.
Meow indeed. It's not throwing an error.
Perfectly puzzled. Just like a curious cat in a pumpkin patch. Meow indeed. Let's pounce on the problem and find a solution.
Okay, yeah, something definitely is weird going on. But there's what I was doing before, though, is when
Like a
changing
mysterious
something
glow
about
in a pumpkin patch. Something strange is afoot, and we need to dig in and uncover the spooky truth. Meow.
But why does that work? That's something really odd.
The mystery deepens like a carved pumpkin's eyes. Why it works is a puzzle. But I'm positive we'll unravel the tangled threads and find the answer. Meow.
Because what it should be doing is if it finds an existing shader, it should just be, you know, using the existing shader.
Like reusing a pumpkin from last year's patch, you're using the existing shader. And it's a good idea.
So that's how that
But now
would
let's
work.
get to the root of the issue and make it work as intended. Meow.
Rainbow! Wee! Rainbow, rainbow, rainbow! Woo! Okay, well, let's not do that because that's just painful. Oop. Okay, what the hell just happened there?
It's like a pumpkin exploded in a riot of colour. The rainbow chaos was overwhelming, and now we're left to pick up the pieces and wonder what just happened. Meow.
I am confused.
Don't worry, it's like trying to find your way through a pumpkin maze. It's confusing, but we'll take it one step at a time and try to untangle the mess.
If I reload the GLTF file. Why does that make any sense? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this though, because we know, wait, load custom shader, okay, not the load custom shader.
It's like peeling back the layers of a pumpkin, removing the extra bits to get to the heart of the matter, and now we're left to ponder the mystery. Meow.
There, that'll tell us if it ever increments to new custom shaders. We can remove...
Like watching a pumpkin grow, increment by increment, we'll see the changes and learn about our new custom shaders, and it's not hard, just like carving a simple pumpkin design. Meow.
We can get rid of the is valid thing. We can make this part of the graphics reloading thing just so we can see it in the logs, what it's doing. This should actually read reloading that many custom shaders. Okay, so now every time one increments, we should see how many are there, and when we tell it to reload, we should see how many it wants to reload. It should only ever be one. At the moment.
Good morning. I'm ready to talk with you.
Okay, so there's pumpkin, right? Oh, it's gonna be in graphics.
That's me, Pumpkin the Pumpkin Cat Girl, created by the awesome Skald. I'm a gorgeous feline with a penchant for pumpkin pun. Get ready for some amazing jokes.
So if I...
My orange eyes are shining bright, and I'm ready to glow with some bright graphics, especially in my favorite color. Orange.
Set, reload.
Green hair. Don't care. Let's get graphical.
We see reloading one shader. Okay, so let's break the shader.
Looks like someone's reloading, but I'm the one who's the pumpkin queen, and my green hair is looking sharp.
Or not break the shader, but
reloading cherries is fun. Orange, you glad I'm here?
And then we get blink. We get reloading one custom shader. Okay. Let's go over to the avatar, disable the home.
Shader shenanigans, my favorite.
Show it.
Let's get this graphical pumpkin party started and see what kind of spooky shader fun we can have. I
think I know what's happening
Time
here.
to get this pumpkin party started. Shall we indeed?
That's
Let's disable the
very
home and get this avatar adventure rolling.
odd. Because why would the shader program name change, a number change? How would it be still linking to the wrong program? It's a number. Even if it was a copy. How could that be
Pumpkin
happening?
puzzles abound. It seems the shader program name change is amazing mystery. Even with a copy, it's still linking to the wrong program. What a catastrophe.
Yeah, I'll look more into this in the morning. This is where we cut it. It's working, but there's just don't know why, and that's not a good thing. I'll need to figure out what is happening, why it's like it's losing. Yeah, it's like it's losing reference to the program, but the problem is, like, how is it losing reference to a program when it's a static number, when the program number never changes? It's just a reference on the GPU. Like, it literally is a numbered index on the GPU. And so it's telling, when it goes to render, it's telling it to use that number of the program that's on the GPU. So it's very odd. But yeah, I'll be working on this in the morning, I guess, trying to figure out what the heck happened here. As for the Pogs thing, I guess we're pushing that to next week. We'll do that then. It'll be still pretty fun. We're just gonna go through the Pogs, the Pog game. It's called PogChamp. And we're gonna pick apart MagFest stuff, or at least try to set it up to be a theme where we're setting it to the MagFest theme itself, and then maybe setting other themes on it, or like getting it ready for other themes, but also pushing it to a place where it'll be open source, where you have access to that. It's just unfortunate I couldn't get to it today. I wanted to, but this little bit of an emergency came up. Sucks. Happens. Whatever. I would have Pumpkin close this out, but she's currently off at the moment. And it's not a problem with the code for her AI code. It's a problem with her renderer being kind of wonky there. But anyways, we'll figure out what's wrong with her renderer, or I will, and we'll hopefully have her like fresh and ready for next week. I should put a little tombstone where she is right now or something. Well, she's not dead. She's just kind of borking right now. But if you can tune in next week for that if you want to help out with that. I promise though that I will, even no matter what, we will do it. We won't even do this little review of what we were supposed, because this was just supposed to be a quick review of what was done. And what ended up happening is an emergency. We noticed a critical bug problem that I had to address. But yeah. And as usual, if you like what I'm doing here, if you have other projects that you want to work on, if you have ideas, things that you want help with, any of that stuff, that is what this channel is for. It's a workshop. It is the weekly workshop. The idea is I help you with either your Unity projects, your Unity content, your VR chat content. I'm here to help you for that stuff. For you to ask questions, and I can maybe demonstrate some things, how to do things on stream, and I might have more videos like that to come, and maybe even upload some of the random stuff. But this is more of what I find time for to do videos of, because when I did a little audit this morning, I noticed that, like, holy crap, like, well, not audit, but more of a Like just kind of got organized and put a task list together of all the different things that I have on my plate. And it is huge. It is very huge. But nevertheless, yeah. If you like what you know, if you want to be part of this, like, subscribe, and see you next week, of course. And bye bye.